Systems accessed. Activate.
Hello and welcome to Digging in the Dome. We are here with a Florida man named Wayne McCarty, I believe, correct?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Wayne McCarty. Wayne is, and that's Kevin, guy.
I'm here. Jesus.
Well, we can actually see you this time, which is nice.
So professional.
It's positive. We can see you. You should be happy. Why are you complaining already?
You look great, dude. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Go.
Seriously.
There you go. You look fantastic.
Some dome pieces.
Yeah. And then you got, and Kevin is in a Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is the Chase Claypool. Mapletron. That's right.
Yes. And he's
the mighty Mapletron.
Right. And he's being lorded over by the colors of the Ravens, which I'm sure he's thrilled with behind him.
You did that on purpose.
I didn't do it on purpose. The room is purple. So I just put up the right colors. So fuck you.
Chris just likes to subtly fuck with me. That's all it is.
It's not.
Wayne, thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate you having you on our podcast. First of all, we wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of explain a little bit about Florida Man and what your podcast is about and what it is that you do in your particular genre of podcasting. And then we'll get into a couple of segments we have set up for you.
Yeah. And one thing to note is, and I said to Kev before we actually started recording, I hadn't known you all that well, you guys, and like gotten into too much of your content. And I want to apologize for suggesting that your podcast was about three other of the hosts brutally raping the other host, because I think I might have said that when I was shouting you out. Florida men on Florida man. It just seems like gang rape. So
it can be confusing. Yeah. No, when we first got started, we've got some requests from some questionable groups to kind of, come hang out. And we were like, no, that's not what we do, but that's fine. That's fine. Yes. That's what you do. But no, it's Florida Man on Florida Man. We cover all things Florida, headlines and history and legends and lore and that sort of thing. And so it's a lot of mystery and storytelling. And
awesome.
So it's a lot of fun. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. So
yeah, it's cool because they do they also, I think you guys use at least the last episode I heard you guys were getting into some like listener requests that, and I think it went the wrong direction because it was about not committing crime and somehow it twisted into if you're going to commit a crime, at least do it unknowingly, like not be purpose, like don't be premeditated.
Don't be blatant about your premeditated
accidentally
or whatever.
So wait, which one of you? So there's four hosts, right? There's you, and then who are your other three guys?
Myself, Cameron, and Josh.
There's three.
Yeah, are on the show with me. Yeah, so Cameron handles the headlines. Josh kind of does like an icebreaker segment, and then I handle the history portion of it towards the end of the episode.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah. So who was the person that accidentally was involved in a drug deal when they were trying to sell a screened-in porch to a gentleman in a questionable area in Florida? Who was that?
Was Josh. So Josh has had over 30 jobs. That's kind of what he's known for. The guy interviews like a king. So
terrible employee though, clearly.
Yeah, terrible employee.
Great interview.
Hired on the spot anywhere.
Yes.
And so one of his jobs was selling door-to-door vinyl siding. And was in a questionable part of town and accidentally did a drug deal. So that happened to him. It's terrifying. I don't know how he gets himself into the situations, to be honest with you. I'm careful.
When he went to the house and he saw the state of the house where, it's, car in the middle of the yard with plants growing out of it, post-apocalyptic vehicle in your front yard or several of them. And then he rolls up and he basically was trying to do his job.
Well, I mean, if the house is in a state of disrepair, then hey, man, who needs vinyl siding?
Yeah, exactly. So the guy was like, hey, there's a car pulling up. Just, I'm going to put something in your pocket. Just tell the guy $60. So he goes over and then he doesn't touch the drugs. He just says in the pocket and it's $60. He said, well, I only have 50, hands him 50. He comes back and he said, he only had 50. Well, I was like, well, then you owe me 10. So he had to pay $10 to make up the delta on the discount that he had levied for the drugs.
He lost money and committed a felony trying to sell vinyl siding.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh,
so
wow.
You guys get into like the lore of things in Florida.
Right.
So Chris and I are from Jersey. Okay. So, one of the big lores, and I'm sure that you've heard of it, is the Jersey Devil. Like that's like a big, is there anything in Florida that you have like that, that you guys talk about on your podcast?
Oh, no, sorry.
The legend that's king is Skunk Ape. It's just a
Skunk Ape?
Dude, why have I never heard?
Intrigued.
Okay. Tell me more, Wayne.
Skunk Ape supposedly lives in the Everglades. A lot of people don't realize the largest kind of empty mass of land, east of the Mississippi, is the Everglades. And so locals believe there's this kind of Sasquatch style monster that lives out there. A lot of kind of First Nation people wrote legends about it. And so people who kind of were born in South Florida, they swear they see it. It's just a giant missing link. I've never seen it. Obviously, I'm from the city.
Right.
But they've convinced me that they believe they've seen something. So
that's crazy. So is he part ape, part skunk?
I would think so.
Or does he just stink?
Stinky.
That's the thing. Is supposedly it stinks. And the fascinating thing about it is a lot of people haven't seen it, but they're just, coincidentally there just a little too late. So they'll tell the cops, like, I know it was here because I could smell it. And that's a real Florida legend. Thousands of people. I'm
sure the cops love getting those calls.
Yes.
I think, you know what, though? The cops get called for worse stuff in Florida. So we get a Skunk call.
Yeah. They're like, I can go to the Skunk Ape. You go deal with that psycho meth head that just running around shirtless in Walmart.
You go deal with that vinyl siding drug deal gone wrong. Instead of
handle Skunk Ape accidentally.
Yeah, exactly. The hostage situation where he just wouldn't give up that $10 to offset the amount of money he owed. Yeah. You better give me my $10. Give me my $2.
Yeah. $2.
$2.
So
Skunky.
I have so what part of Florida are you from?
So right outside of Orlando.
Okay.
Oh, right.
So are you a Bucks fan?
No.
Okay.
I don't watch I watch a lot of soccer, and so I think everybody was a Bucks fan a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I guess so. In Florida.
I'm
choosing between the Bucks and the Jags, I guess is
or the Dolphins for that matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm pretty neutral on the matter, but it was a lot of people came out of the woodworks a couple of weeks back.
Oh, I can imagine.
They're going, I've always loved the Bucks. I'm like, have you? 'Cause I've never heard you talk about it.
Exactly. Why is that shirt that you have that says Bucks on it have a tag?
Yeah, exactly.
The one hanging off of it. Yeah. We know what you're up to, mister.
The Brady jersey that you own.
Yeah, exactly. The Brady jersey that you just got.
So, I went to Panama City, Florida for spring break in 1996. So I'm dating myself here.
Yeah.
So
old man.
This was when MTV Spring Break just started.
Right.
So I think it was the second year of MTV Spring Break. And I was a sophomore in college.
Is that Karma Electra John, like where she would be there, or
it was like all kind, like they had like the VJs were all there. What's and like certain bands and stuff.
I got wrong on a last podcast previous. Dan Cortez. Dan
Cortez was certainly there.
He definitely gave some herpes.
But me. It was. I can honestly say and I was there for 5 days. It was the most I've ever consumed alcohol. Like it was a stretch of 5 days where I don't remember any valiant or points in time. Is all blur. It's like 5 days of just blurriness,
like blackout drunk.
So because it was like this only second time MTV was doing spring break.
Right.
And they're in Panama City, Florida.
Holy shit.
We're going to like all those like skeevy frat bro bars, like Spinnakers and Club La Vila. And it's just like wet t-shirt contests and, just debauchery at its finest. And I don't remember hardly any of it. So the one thing that was crazy, and I don't know if anybody remembers this, but if you hear that, that is Chris has a team of sled dogs downstairs that are hungry. Apparently, this happens every podcast. By the way, the dogs always go ape shit in the background.
I'm going to murder them all.
So
that's my plan.
So in 1996. Bush played at spring break.
Bush, I think George Bush.
He wasn't invited.
It's a party when GW shows up.
Yeah, that's right. Hey,
they played in the pouring rain, and like Gavin from Bush almost died.
Dude, I remember that
during the performance because it was pouring rain. He almost got electrocuted.
Holy shit!
I think he was doing glycerine, and that was like
you got it 100% right.
Days go.
Yeah. Bye forever.
Bob.
So it was one of and I've been to Florida a couple of times. I've been to Disney World recently. I did the whole Star Wars park and everything like that. But this was, I can easily say, like, you know, one of the grossest, like, but best times I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Because if you've ever been to any of those types of bars and stuff like that in Panama City, I mean, they're made specifically for that.
It's like just that. It's like going to Cancun.
Yeah.
Like those
For
bars.
sure.
Yeah. So are you like, I guess as a local, are you like
fuck these guys?
Yeah, exactly. That's trying to beat around it there, but pretty much like fuck these fucking people. Like, do you consider yourself a townie for the?
You know, it's interesting. It's interesting, man, because like Florida, I think personally is all tourists. You'd be hard pressed to find locals, depending on where you go, especially being in Orlando. So I think we're so used to it. It's just kind of one of those things where, like, if you're a decent human being, you know, you want to help, you know, people who are traveling and asking for directions or whatever, you know what I mean?
Sure.
If you see somebody passed out drunk on the side of the street, you know, look after maybe a little bit, but
run their pockets first. But
check their pockets. But I think we're so accustomed to it, man. Like I don't know of anybody that ever really complains about it. I mean, Florida, we know what we're going to get here. You know what I mean? Like we're just trying to survive. It's like a swamp.
I just remember rolling there with like 10 like steroid ridden frat bros.
Yeah.
And like going down there and just being like, and in the back of my head, I'm just thinking like, they must fucking hate us down here. Like, hate. And then MTV's there. So it's just like 10 times more the people that would normally be there for spring break. So it's just a million fucking people down there.
Just humanity.
Just pissing and throwing up everywhere.
Oh God.
It's just
rolling in like some poor Floridian is sitting there. They're like, I live here. I just have my doors unlocked. Some fucking bro is rolling in there. What's up? I'm gonna crash on your couch.
I think
shit my pants.
That's kind of one thing that locals know is just maybe I think just how to avoid it. You know, which I think in a way, like if you're down to party and you want to hang out, that's the plus side of it. It's almost always available. You know, like 7 nights a week. If you want a night that's kind of chill, the locals know where to go. To avoid that. So it's kind of a win-win for us. And I think if you look at the way our state's handling COVID, it's kind of a testament to it. I think we were locked down for like maybe 2 weeks, and then people were just like, you know, forget this.
Yeah, they're like 2 minutes. They're like, well, I need to go to the store, so and I don't have a mask, so fuck that. I'm going.
They kind of went back at it, and that's what I think. People early on, like on Reddit, were posting videos of like Florida beaches, and every Floridian that I know, you know, we're being cautious, but none of us were shocked by it. I mean, it's Florida. You know, people came to party. They live here to party. It's just what it is.
Yeah, and we were, like I said, we're from Jersey, and we're from the beaches in Jersey, not like Fist Pump Jersey Shore, but like Southern Jersey. So we're from like the peninsula, the tip of
the penis of New Jersey.
There you go.
We're from the cock and balls of Jersey.
Exactly.
Right. But like to be like when COVID hit, and like as soon as the beaches opened, everybody was like, "Fucking fuck this."
Yeah.
You know, they were just like, "We're going to the beach. You can't stop. It's sunny out. I've been locked in my house for months now."
Yeah.
And that was in June. You know what I mean? So like June of last year, and now we're still locked down here. Like you're not allowed to have. But we're like 25% capacity indoors.
Yeah,
Like,
still wearing masks everywhere.
It's
Same.
crazy.
Well, there's a lot of sensible people here in Florida, and I think, especially in our area, kind of in Orlando, Tampa area, people seem to be responsible. Miami, but the further out you go, closer to the coast, it's just party vibes 24/7. So when people are complaining about Florida, usually it's those areas. But we claim ownership of it because we live here, so we take the good with the bad. But
my uncle, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have friends out in California, they'll message me like, what are you guys doing out there? And I'm like, it's not us. But, there's nothing we can really do about it. It's just Florida,
Right.
Yeah. My uncle has a place in, I don't know how to pronounce it, so I apologize. It's Dunedin or Dunedin.
Oh, Dunedin.
Dunedin.
Yeah.
So, and they're like right on the coast there.
Right.
And he's like, they don't care. They're
just like, nope,
like,
I'm just going to do what I'm doing.
They don't care.
Yep.
And as soon as they got vaccinated, it was like, they care even less than that.
Oh, no. Now they're making out with strangers, like, spit in my face. Like, oh,
we just saw something a couple weeks ago. Two ladies, like middle-aged ladies, dressed up as grandmas to try and get the COVID vaccine. And
that's fucking incredible.
They look like the old guys from the barbershop in Coming to America. It's like,
right, 100%. They got curly wigs on and walkers, and they got busted. But what was crazy is they found out that it was the second round of vaccination, so they had gotten away with the first one.
Oh my God!
And they were coming back to get the second one.
Well, so they give it at least say like, all right, you got us the first time, so we'll just we're arresting you, but we're gonna give you the second.
Bosom buddy vibes.
Right, exactly. Right.
Oh man, we're talking bosom buddy. Not to derail this, but man, talk about two careers that went in completely opposite directions. Tom Hanks was like, later, I'm gonna go win many Oscars, and Tom Scolari's like, hey.
He's like, we're going to be the two Toms forever.
He's like,
forever.
Yes. I think I saw Tom at a Sonic's roller skating food to someone's car.
He was selling vinyl siding.
He might have been the guy that answered the door and sell the drugs. Wouldn't be surprised.
So we wanted to invite you to participate in a segment of ours that we call Trivia Time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So basically what I did was I put together a series of questions of various degrees of difficulty. I'm going to try to put these in the order in which they were.
At least from our viewpoint. From your viewpoint, they could be like you. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know that. Like you may get zero of these. I get them all.
I may be wildly overestimating your knowledge of the state that you live in. It's very possible.
Yeah, it's very possible.
And by the way, if you would have asked me any of these questions before I looked them up and found out the answers, I would have gotten zero right. Maybe one, maybe two, probably zero, if I'm being honest.
No, I appreciate that. Listen, Josh quizzed us a couple dozen episodes back on Florida, and he gave us a multiple choice on what was on the Florida flag. And Cameron and I just got none of them correct.
Well, like the state flag?
Oranges?
The state
flag, my guess.
Yeah.
Oranges.
I would just assume it's a gator and methamphetamine.
Yeah, that was going to be
right.
A Cuban flotilla.
Like somebody with a hook hand.
That's exactly what we thought. We were wrong. It was like steamboats and bushes and
steamboats.
Yeah, exactly.
Where the fuck have you seen a steamboat?
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna play cards on the old Mississippi.
Yeah. So I have zero confidence in the quiz, but I'm excited for it.
Cool, man.
Yeah. So I figured that the way that we could do this is, Kevin, if Wayne gets it wrong, I'm going to give you a chance to answer. So
okay. Oh God, I'm going up against you. Oh,
yeah. So
perfect.
This sucks.
Well, I mean, the more likely situation is going to be.
Listen, I get by on my good looks, not on my friggin'.
See how that's going.
Not on my brain. That's for
right.
Sure.
Right, there you go.
You're a handsome gentleman. All right. So. All right. So normally we would have a timer going in the background. We're not going to do any of that shit. Just because there's not going to be that much pressure on here for our guests. That's not fair.
We'll put it in post.
I appreciate it. Yeah. The easier, the better.
Yes. Okay. So question one. What city in Florida is known as the Venice of America?
The Venice?
The Venice. Like, Venice with gondolas. We just talk about gondolas and shit like that.
Good Lord.
It's a hard. Apparently there's a lot of waterways there and things of that ilk. So if that helps you.
Let's go with, I'm going to get this wrong, but let's go with St. Pete.
Nope, not St. Pete. Kevin, would you like to steal here?
Miami.
No, it's Fort Lauderdale, the Venice of America. Yeah, I don't know. That's what
is Fort Lauderdale. Oh, and maybe I don't want to take any questions. I retract my statement. I don't want to take any trivia questions away.
All right, what's up?
No, I was going to ask
if any more Fort Lauderdale related questions, if that helps you.
I was going to ask if that's the capital of Florida.
No,
Fort Lauderdale.
No, it's not, and I've been there. I don't know that I would have called it Venice.
Yes.
but I mean, there's a lot of water.
Is that? I guess that's why. Is there people with a gondola like doing the romantic things happening on the waterways or no?
Not at all. But they should sell that. They should own that.
Yes. Well, I mean, they're called the fucking Venice. Why not lean in and have some Italian restaurants and fucking saying. A dude with a gondola just motoring around. Yeah, they're dropping 100%. The ball.
I guarantee you that people would drown. That's why they don't do it.
Sounds about right.
Just for safety concerns.
That's understandable. Okay, so that was the first question. All right, neither of you got it right, but that's okay. Okay, this should be a fairly easy one, I think. True or false? Florida has the most toll roads and bridges in America.
I'm going to go with true, but I feel like it could be you guys as well.
No, you are correct, sir.
Oh, it is.
It is. Got the most. Well, believe me, the Garden State Parkway. I mean, back in the day when you actually didn't have Easy Pass, struggling to find quarters, and I probably weighted down my car, and it had to make me get gas more times than I needed to, because I had so much change.
I believe
you guys have a big one up there, right?
Oh, there's
so many.
Carlin had a bit about it. He would say, he said driving in Jersey, he's like, you can't drive 10 feet without some dick in a hat that wants 10 cents.
Right. Yeah. That's the same here, honestly. And the worst part about Florida is all the roads have two different names. So you've got a toll road name, and then you've got what Floridians call it. So, the roads that I've driven on my entire life are now called Highway 114. So when you go to Google Maps, I have no idea where I'm going.
Oh, no.
Because you call it something completely different.
100%. Yeah, it's insane. So, yeah, no.
Cool. You done good. All right, so you get that one. Okay. This is good because we're right on the precipice of baseball. We get our first spring training game tomorrow, I think.
Okay.
How many baseball teams hold spring training in Florida?
I know of one.
There's definitely more than that, because you would only be playing by yourself against each other.
I know one. I'm gonna say 8.
Okay, that is not correct. Kevin, you want to give it a go?
I'm gonna go with 16.
Ooh, so close. 15.
Oh,
come on!
Oh man,
so close.
We're not gonna get
the Tigers are in our backyard.
Run!
Yeah.
Oh, not a real one.
Well, maybe.
Tigers in my backyard.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. But no, the baseball team. Yeah.
Hey, where'd your head go?
I dropped there. My Zoom dropped there a little bit. I'm good. I'm back in.
Well, why is your face? You have your picture looks like you have the happiness of a black man being taken in a picture. Like they're always you're like.
Do you practice law? Because that's a dope law picture right there.
Yeah, you look like you're ready to the offices of Hartman and Hartman.
That's
the injury lawyer.
Well, I don't know. Maybe a frozen time there.
Mesothelioma.
Mesothelioma,
yes.
Whatever it's called.
Yes.
Did you eat asbestos when you were a child?
Shit.
You probably have cancer now. Call us.
We'll get you money. Are you dialing back in or something?
I don't know, man. I keep popping in and out.
Yeah, you're gone all of a sudden.
Your signal's garbage.
No, that's not my signal. Go. It's you. You're garbage. How about that? Fuck you.
Hey, at least you can hear me. That's fine.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all that matters.
So, okay.
So Wayne, you got one question correct so far out of 3.
So far.
And I got
I'm feeling great about it. My expectations are really low.
All right, so we're going to go a little bit entertainment here, because I think this will make it a little bit easier. All right. This 1998 movie starring Jim Carrey is about his discovery that his whole life was actually staged and broadcast as a TV show, and it was shot in a Florida community of Seaside. What was the name of the movie?
It was The Truman Show.
That is correct.
There you go.
Well done.
I did not know that was shot in Florida, so there you go.
Oh, look at that.
Awesome. Chris is teaching you something about Florida.
I'm teaching Florida.
I'm learning.
Yay.
I'm here for it.
I'm very excited that I'm actually able to teach you and learn you something.
You're a true Florida man.
I am not, but all right. Another one in the same vein of that one. This famous Floridian and serial killer was portrayed by Charlize Theron in the 2003 film Monster. What's her name?
Oh my God. Don't know her name. I know how terrifying Charlize Theron looked in that film.
Yeah, it's not good. I go back and jerk off to her in 2 Days in the Valley after that. I'm like, I remember now. That's right.
Ruined it for everybody.
Yes.
I don't remember her name, but I know she was terrifying. If I'm not mistaken, I think she picked up guys.
She was a hooker serial killer, essentially. So she would fuck you and then really fuck you out of life.
Like a Black Widow. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. He didn't know. I have no clue.
Yes, it's Aileen Wuornos.
Oh, okay. I never would have gotten that.
All right. Well, I really did pick easy ones, I guess. I totally didn't. All right. Bonus question for Wayne. Yeah. Is she still alive?
Oh, God. I'm going to go with
She is not.
Did we kill her?
No, because Florida is a great state in America. They killed that bitch.
Electric chair?
Lethal injection.
Lethal injection. Nice.
Yeah, she was basically giving a lethal injection. Well, people were injecting her, I guess, with their penis, and then she was being lethal. So maybe it's some kind of irony happening there.
It's full circle.
Yeah.
The thing about the Florida death penalty is like in Texas, they kind of expedite it. Like if you do anything wrong in Texas, they're just going to kill you.
It's over.
In like a month, though, like really quickly. Like Florida, if you get the death penalty, like you're lucky if you survive long enough to get the death penalty. Like
it takes forever to mitigate it.
It takes forever. There's been some terrible folks on death row for like 65 years.
Yeah, she died in I don't know when she got arrested, but she died in 2002. So but she
they do screen it though. You can go watch. That's what we do. That's what we do in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. I wouldn't. But in Florida, if you want to go, you can sign up and go see one.
I mean, if you're a Floridian and you've been to Disney World a whole bunch of times, saw the fireworks show, went to the Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Let's go watch someone die.
It's cheaper.
Be great. They should start charging for it. Like really make it pay.
Cheaper.
Well, if you've ever been to Disney World at peak hours, you may wish upon death. So especially on the people in line in front of you.
Oh man. All right. Next question. Florida is home to the largest city in the United States. Yep. What is it?
Landmass is Jacksonville.
That is correct.
Wow. Look at that.
Yes. Wayne.
My in-laws live there and they'll say like, do you want to go to the grocery store? And I'm like, sure. And like, it's an hour and 15 minutes that way.
God
like,
damn.
It's absolutely insane how big that city is.
Like, no, I'll starve. Like DoorDash delivery costs $1,000.
Yeah. No, seriously, man. It's
Uber Eats is in a jet, a helicopter to your house.
It feels like 4 different cities. It really does. Like it's Jacksonville Beach is like really nice. And then you go into like downtown Jacksonville and you're just praying to escape alive. It's a massive city.
Yeah, I mean, the largest in the country. I didn't realize.
It's crazy. I had no idea.
That, yeah. I mean, look, I learned a lot about Florida today.
Yes.
I was putting this together. Okay. Here's the next one. What city in Florida is the famous dolphin Flipper from?
Oh my God. That's great.
You mean like Flipper from the TV show Flipper?
Yep.
Yeah, I knew he was from Florida, but I don't know what city. I'm gonna guess Miami. I don't think it's it, but I'm gonna guess Miami.
No. Now I'm going to.
Hey, can I get my? Do I get
you
to
can
guess?
Yes, go.
I'm gonna guess. Also Miami. No, that's not. I'm not that.
I was actually going to give you a hint.
No, hold on.
All right. You try to guess it first, and then I'll give.
So I'm gonna say Tampa.
No,
okay.
But you're not. You're actually really, really close.
Okay.
It is the home of where the Philadelphia Phillies play.
Oh, Clearwater.
In Clearwater.
No shit.
That's right.
Come on.
Flipper's from Clearwater.
Yep. Flipper.
They call him Flipper.
Yes.
Flipper.
Hey, the
alcohol and night swimming. It's a winning combination. Oh no, sharks. And everybody said, oh, it's the dolphins, the clowns of the sea. what did Lenny call them? The assassins of the sea? Sharks, the assassins of the sea. Remember, we're talking about obviously The Simpsons if you didn't know, but I remember when Lenny's corpse rolls up on shore, and then Chief Wiggin comes to investigate the crime because all the dolphins. This is when the Dolphins took over Springfield.
Oh, okay.
And
it was one of the Halloween episodes.
He's like bottlenose impressions and bruises all over this person. This is the work of no good punk kids. if Flipper burns and bottlenose bruises, no good punk kids. All right, next one. True or false? Florida is the state with the most counties represented in the now canceled TV show Cops.
Oh my God, that sounds so true. I don't know though. I think California might have us beat. I'm gonna say false on that one.
You are correct, and you were right on the state.
Wow,
that has more. California had more than because they had I believe there was 27 counties represented in Florida, and California had something like 32 or 33. So they beat them by a few.
I think we beat them on lightning strikes and meth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would agree with that.
And then they beat us on Cops. So yeah.
You know what? That goes back to the old adage: you can't win them all, right?
No. But you know what? We edged them out on HIV. So
there you go.
Oh, there you go.
That's
we
right.
win AIDS.
We're doing okay for ourselves.
Yeah, we have more houses in Virginia than you.
Can you put the Cops theme song in the background?
What you gonna do?
When we ask that question, put that sucker in post.
All right, next one. This city in Florida has the highest recorded average temperature in the U.S.
Goodness gracious.
And it's in Florida, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a hard one.
No, it really is. I'm going to go off and I'm going to say Clearmont.
No, it is not. Kevin?
Key West.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Let's go.
Kevin is a Florida man.
I got me a point.
You got me.
That's awesome.
Got me.
No shutouts.
Looking for you.
I just figured, I'm like, what's the furthest south you can go in Florida?
It's 90 miles from Cuba, my man.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what
It's
I went
right
with.
there.
Well, you were correct, sir. Well
Nice.
done. All right. We got one more and then a bonus. So the next one is this popular surrealist artist has 2 museums in the world dedicated to his work, one in Spain and one in St. Petersburg, Florida. Who is the artist?
I'm going to go with Salvador Dali.
That is correct.
Nice.
Well done.
I didn't know there was a
Very
Dali
cool.
Museum in Florida.
Yes.
That's very cool.
You know, one of the things that the unsung thing about Salvador Dali is the Raleigh Fingers mustache. He's got the
Oh yeah, the nice little
Right.
curly
Yeah.
Q.
yeah. If he was a villain and he was tying someone to a train track, yeah, he definitely has that going on,
100%.
dude. It's like, I mean, I guess if you're an artist, he was like the first hipster.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be eccentric if
Yes.
you're.
Yes.
There's something in like a creative personality where every bit of them's got to stand out in some way. You know what I mean? At least something's got to stand out.
Wayne's got a strong mustache.
Oh yeah, he's got a good mustache.
Yeah, you got
going.
like a Selleck. He's got a very Selleck mustache.
A decade strong, my friend.
That's
That's
10
awesome.
years? You have a
That's
10-year
10 years
mustache?
strong, yeah.
Now, like, do you trim it up? Do you like keep it like, obviously it's not, because otherwise you'd have like a
right.
like-
Yeah, no, I know.
Otherwise, you look like Yosemite Sam.
like fucking skunk bear pig or whatever you call it. Skunk bear, whatever it was. Do
I rocked it long for a while and then trimmed it up, and
you ever handlebar it? Like, it looks like it could like have a pretty dope handlebar if you like let it
you
go.
could go full Hulk Hogan, no
Yeah.
I
problem.
have. Yeah, I don't
Let
want to
me tell you something, brother.
Right. I don't want to be confused for a cop, so I try to I clean it up, but
yeah.
yeah, it's been there for a decade, man.
Damn, that's a strong mustache game.
I appreciate it.
Well,
Thank
shit.
you.
All right. Here's a last question here. It's a bonus question. It's regarding a weird Florida law.
Okay.
It is illegal to sing in Florida while wearing what?
Illegal to sing in Florida?
While wearing what?
Is it a raincoat?
No, it is not. Although it's singing in a rain, like
Yeah.
you get tasered. Ah! You might be like Gavin Rossdale and Bush. Ah!
I'm gonna say a 2-2.
No. So you guys are overthinking this because you have to think about where you're at. You're in Florida. What would you normally be wearing in Florida?
Shorts.
Yes.
Jeans, shorts.
You're like shorts? Jean shorts? No. No, a swimsuit.
Oh, it's illegal to sing wearing a swimsuit.
It is illegal to sing in Florida while wearing a swimsuit. Why? I don't really know. Maybe because like people get too horny and like try to fuck, like
I guess it's another thing I could have gotten arrested for in spring break.
Were you singing in a swimsuit?
Yeah, man. Fucking Bush was on stage.
Oh yeah.
Of course. There's a whole concert full of people singing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Why didn't they like come in there like bust it like it was like a fucking speakeasy?
Who knows?
And they were like, we don't have enough handcuffs.
I'm sure the cops were
busy doing other things.
Paid quite well to stay away.
Like, yeah, listen.
We're gonna need you to back off. MTV's like,
yes,
there you go.
Yeah, MTV was like, listen,
see you in a week.
We'd like our guests to be able to sing while in swimsuits. What's this good? What do we have to do here to make this happen?
Yeah, the tourism industry has the cops bought and paid for.
I'm sure. Oh yeah, they're definitely taken care of well. I'd say the negotiation from the MTV is like, well, we can let you have Carmen Electra for about 45 minutes. Deal.
You have to take Dan Cortez with you.
Yeah. What's up, bro? No deal. No deal. We never said anything about Cortez.
You're all going to jail.
Yeah.
So, Wayne, you got 5 correct.
That's awesome.
That's
dude.
pretty damn impressive.
That's better than I thought I was going to do, man.
You are truly a Florida man.
He is Florida man.
That's better than I thought I was going to do. It's interesting. About like rich guys breaking laws in Florida. There's a ton of them, obviously.
Oh yeah.
It's like Disney literally like carved out a section of the state, called it his own city, and started writing his own laws. And the cops are just like, okay. Like, I mean, like there's literally nothing they were going to do about it. And so to this day, Bay Lake is the city where Disney is at. And they've got their own zoning laws, their own everything. Tallahassee just leaves them alone. Doesn't bother it at all.
Wow. And I think that's part of the reason why they were able to have the NBA bubble last year in Disney is because they have different laws there pertaining to like the whole COVID thing and stuff like that. Right. They were able to kind of do their own thing.
Wow.
And kind of script it the way they wanted to because it was on that separate section of land
that's
considered a different city.
So wait, they just didn't give a shit. They're like, yeah, you can go lord over this part of the. I am the Lord of Bay Lake. I am the king.
What he did, he actually used a ton of different LLCs to buy up the property, and then secretly, but it was one shell company.
Oh, that's
and before it was over, it was just too late.
Some nefarious shit.
But you know what though? On the flip side, that's how we knew COVID was serious a year ago. When Disney shut down, literally every Floridian was like, "Holy crap, this is a big deal."
Yeah, I can imagine if they get to the point where like, I mean, they don't like losing money at all.
No, right.
So if they're shutting down, that's a huge
they
huge
opened
deal.
Back up though, I think. Right?
Oh yeah, they're open now, right? They were closed for a while. How long were they closed?
They were closed up until about 3 or 4 months ago, give or take. But you know what? If you get hurt on Disney's property, they will throw you in an ambulance and drive you off the property so that you won't die on the property. That's why there's so few like
we're losing them.
Yeah, exactly.
He turns the car.
So you shoot out the back.
It's really sad. He died on the freeway without a car. We don't know how he got there.
Wonder how that happened.
Hey, honey, is that a gurney that's passing us on the left? Yes,
yeah, right, exactly.
Yes, Roger, you're going very slow. Too cautious. It's like, yeah, well, that's nuts, dude. Like, so they literally are like, so they take you to a hospital, I guess, like somewhere else, like outside of their.
There's been a handful of cases of stuff that's gone wrong, and they just couldn't avoid it. Mm-hmm. But if you ask them, the official statement is like, "Oh, there's only been like 3 or 4 deaths on Disney property," which is statistically impossible.
Come on, man.
Yeah, there's no way. There's like a couple of years ago, a kid got eaten by an alligator at one of the resorts.
I remember that.
It was a big deal. And the press got all over it. And like for the locals, we were like, man, this is going to be what brings them down. And then they released a letter and they were just like, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about the alligator.
What they didn't tell you is that the parents had been there for 4 days and the dad was seen on a camera windmilling the kids with it by his arm, whipping it into the crocodile lake. Yeah.
Well, we introduced them to our new crocodile eating and they didn't take the proper precautions, so it's their fault.
Yes. No, Daddy, look at the puppy. Get away from there. Stupid kid.
I'm unfortunately, however you look at it, I'm a huge Disney. I went to Disney by myself after a work conference. I drove from where I was in Florida for the conference. I drove like 3 hours and just to go, I did every Disney park in one day.
Just a tool around.
Yeah. Just like I had a free day before I had to fly home. I literally like went there. It was around Halloween, did the whole Disney, checked out all the Halloween stuff, and then went and did the next morning, went and did every single park.
Oh shit.
Like, yeah, by myself. It was awesome. And people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you, 44-year-old man going to Disney by yourself?
Whatever.
I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Dude, it's amazing, man. And honestly, like if you enjoy it, I mean, dude, I was on a show earlier this morning actually, and we were talking about Pokemon, and one of the hosts was like, I really love it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's cool. Love it. You know what I mean? Like, love what you love. This is amazing.
Yeah, you got to be real with yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't care, man. Sure. It was awesome. I got a picture with Chewbacca. It was fucking amazing.
Dude, Chewbacca Chewie?
Hell yeah. I waited in line for a half hour to get a picture with Chewbacca.
I would wait in line a half hour for a picture with Chewbacca.
I'm going to send that to you. You can pop it up.
I will.
I know a guy in downtown Tampa that will do it for free. Just let me know.
Oh,
what I didn't realize was it wasn't Chewbacca. It was Skunk Ape.
Yeah, Skunk Ape. Oh no,
fucking Chewbacca smells like shit.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, you wouldn't really know what a Wookiee smelled like until you got up close and really tucked into it. So,
I guess that's true.
He looks like he probably smells bad because he's all hairy and shit.
I don't know. So, I was excited.
Yeah,
I was super pumped.
Yeah, but maybe that's what happened to Skunk Ape. Maybe he, like George Lucas, acquired the rights to Skunk Ape and.
Well, you live in Orlando, Wayne. What's it like? Is it weird as a local to like, are you a fan of Disney? Do you go? Do you not? Do you like hate it? Are you like, all these fucking tourists are everywhere and that kind of thing? It's got to be a big part of the economy. So you can't really hate it too much.
We're a little more casual with it. We haven't gone since COVID. But prior to that, we had passes and stuff, but we really just go for like dinner and like get on a ride and go home.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we're a little more casual with it. The locals are, and of course, we just assume that 95% of the people who are there are tourists. So again, it's kind of one of those things. But I enjoy the parks when I don't feel obligated to stay there the entire time.
Right.
Yeah. Like I go in and get out.
Things. Yeah,
go in and get out.
That's my vibe. I want to go and chill, drink a beer, and then get out of there. So.
Get out of there. I got a question, non-Disney related question. Sorry, Kevin, unless you wanted to ask 1,000.
I want to talk about Disney.
Clearly, you fucking Disney cuck. Shut up. I wanted to ask about your podcast actually, and
sure.
You guys talk about a lot of stuff, and obviously being the resident historian, and the person that's responsible for that, you guys talk about a lot of interesting stories that come out of Florida. What are some of the more, or what is one of the more interesting things that you guys covered that you're like, wow, that was fucking nuts? Because there's a lot. I've seen enough cops to know some crazy shit some wild shit goes down in Florida, man. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, not that other wild shit doesn't happen everywhere, but that's certainly Maricopa County. My Lord, they love fucking throwing some shit. That sounds like a place that I'm going to avoid. Maricopa County, no offense.
No, man, it's the county that we're kind of in. Actually, it's called Polk County. It's right outside of Orlando, and our sheriff, Grady Judd, he is about as Wild West as you can get. And they'll shoot people up and then go have a press conference about it. And in one of the press conferences, he was just like, the reporter asked him, you shot him, 70 times. Why? And he was like, well, we would have done it more, but we ran out of bullets.
That's some shit right there.
Yeah.
God damn.
And so that's a vibe. But what's funny? It's interesting, man, because like a lot of the headlines we get, we try to stay away from some of the crime ones and just kind of keep it lighthearted.
Sure.
And one of the most fascinating ones, we have iguanas in Florida that are wild. They're an invasive species, but they're here now nonetheless. And they freeze when the temperatures drop, and people assume they're dead. And on the flip side, you can sell iguanas for decent money. And so this guy, he gathered up some frozen iguanas, put them in his car, and on the drive home, they defrosted. And they woke up and they went bat crazy, and then he wrecked.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
And so they also issue warnings locally. Beware of falling iguanas because they'll freeze and fall out of the tree. hit you in the head. That's a real thing that happens to a lot of people.
So, could someone get a brain injury from a frozen falling iguana?
They're surprisingly
big enough.
They're surprisingly heavy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're prehistoric, but it's interesting, man, because like even the further you go back in Florida's history, it's always been bat crazy. And I think that gives us some peace, honestly. Like we know that we haven't really done anything. We just happen to be born here in like a lawless swamp.
Yes.
And this is how it goes. It's been going this way for 1,000 years. So it is what it is.
That's amazing, too. I just can't imagine that if someone was like, so why is it that you always have to wear a helmet? Funny story. I was walking home and a frozen iguana impaled my brain.
And now I don't remember grade school.
Exactly. Well, who are you again?
Honestly, I was going to say, if you go a little further back in history, Florida was tossed around quite a bit from different countries who owned the state. They just didn't want it. It kept trying to peddle us off to other superpowers. And there's actually documents where the Queen, like in the 1700s, the king was like, there's this wild land. Let's give it to Spain. The locals can't be tamed. He was referring to Florida. So it's, like I said, it's just kind of one of those things.
That's nuts.
Well, Florida kind of gets a bad rap, especially, the rest of the United States will be like, oh, Florida's crazy. They'll talk about, there's a radio show here called Preston and Steve where they have a segment where they just call it Florida Man, and they just read a headline from Florida, some crazy headline that they pick up from Florida. So, people don't realize Pennsylvania is pretty fucking bad. We live in Pennsylvania now. We grew up in Jersey, but we live in the Philly suburbs.
Yep.
And the space between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, they call it Pennsyltucky. And
for good reason. Oh yeah.
They have shot shows in Pennsylvania and parts of Western Pennsylvania that the show premise is supposed to be Kentucky. It's so Kentucky that that's how Kentucky it is, that they shoot it there instead of Kentucky. A show about Kentucky, they shoot in Pennsylvania.
That's amazing.
So, there was, what's the show with, Timothy Oliphant, he plays Raylan Givens.
Dude.
Justified. Yeah. So they shot parts of that in Pennsylvania, and it's supposed to be in freaking Kentucky. Bootleggers that show Bootleggers. They shot that 20 minutes from where my parents live.
Oh, no shit.
In Western PA. So people talk shit on Florida. They don't have a lot of shit to talk, especially around here.
Well,
it gets a little funky in central and Western Pennsylvania, man.
You can everywhere. You go to New York, I have to, the corporate headquarters, the company that I work for is in Rochester. And let me tell you, driving there, because it's only about 5 hours away. So every once in a while, not get on a plane and have to, deal with all that shit and just drive, especially during when the weather's not. So Rochester's got a window of weather about 15 to 20 minutes where it's not snowing. That's when I'll drive up. But yeah, there are some pretty fucking dodgy ass places in pretty much every state. So I think, Florida, because there's so much attention put on it. You're not going to no one's going to give a shit about fucking Rochester, New York. Who gives a shit about that?
Right. I think too, there's laws in Florida that require just an incredible amount of transparency. So basically there's an oversaturation. When something crazy happens, reporters are waiting outside to get the scoop. And that's kind of the culture here. So everywhere you see is Florida Man articles. There probably is, I think, a little more crazy things happening here than your average state. But I do think there's a media saturation, which is part of the reason why we're a meme,
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. I did want to ask, so did you grow up and have been in Florida your entire life? Is that where you?
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. So, and so you've never lived anywhere but Florida. So you've been there.
Interesting. The guys, we actually toured quite a bit in our 20s. We were still involved in the music industry. And so we traveled. Yeah, we traveled quite a bit. But as far as living residency, it's always been Central Florida. Yeah.
Nice. Chris and I were in a band for 17 years.
Come on. Incredible. Yeah. What did you guys do?
So we were very much it was 311 meets Rage Against the Machine meets The Roots.
Come on, man. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yes. So we were offered an indie record deal. It ended up falling apart for some of the band members had a falling out, and there was a lot of issues that kind of broke us up. But we played CBGBs a couple of times. Like we played all up and down, like the East Coast. So yeah, we love music. We're kind of built on it.
Yep.
That's the same with our show, man.
Too, right?
Yeah, same with our show. Yeah, we Cameron and I are both licensed songwriters still with Capitol, and so we still do that for a living. But the podcast is kind of a way for us just to hang out, and Florida Man was low hanging fruit. So
then I would assume that. So they've got these interstitials when they're like going from segment to segment. And by the way, Wayne, just from one podcaster to another, I'm a big fan of segments and having some structure in these goddamn. I feel like Kevin's like rolling his eyes. So like I say, like I've got. I like that. I like having. And so when they're moving from thing to thing, they have music in between. It's very like 80s.
Yeah.
Interludes.
Yes.
Right.
Like music. Is that all music that you guys write?
It's all Cameron. Yeah, he's the producer, and he's the one singing on the intro track and all that stuff. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so the studio we had that we built in our 20s when we had the band, and it was just kind of sitting around for a little bit, and we decided to use it for the podcast. So it's worked out in our favor. Sometimes on Patreon we'll get drunk and play songs for people.
That's very cool. That's awesome.
It just kind of depends.
Yeah, but we should bust out the acoustic and play Fat Sister.
Oh, Jesus. That's not a Desiderata song, as they would say.
It's just a Kevin and Chris song.
But they, so we have music on iTunes and stuff like that. Well, if you ever want to check it out,
dude.
The band name is Desiderata.
Good luck spelling.
But yeah, man, we thoroughly enjoy anybody that has a fondness for music. So it's awesome.
So are you guys, just kind of side note, are you guys 311 fans?
Oh yeah, huge.
Yeah.
So check this out, dude. So I was familiar with their singles growing up, but Josh, so one of our co-hosts, huge fan, and we partnered up with a radio station right before COVID in February. It was a Florida Man festival, so the headliners were the 1975, but then right before them was like 311, Jimmy Eat World. It was a decent ticket, but I had never seen them live.
Oh, no kidding.
And we were kind of down front. The nicest guys on the planet. They literally melted my face. I'm not even kidding. One of the best live shows I've ever seen in my life.
They're amazing. Chad Sexton is one of the best drummers in the world.
Dude, and just massive energy. Their set list is like an hour and 15 minutes, and they never slow down.
Yeah.
They love Florida too. Nick Hexum, the lead singer, he actually had his own island off of the Keys. His own private island. It was like one house on this island. He actually sold it a few years ago for like $6 million or something like that. But yeah, they're huge. Crazy. They're huge Florida guys.
Yeah.
They love the state of Florida.
So I'm glad you two are enjoying gushing over 311, because on a previous episode, Kevin unearthed. So we've got this thing. It's called the topic randomizer, and it causes mostly nothing but pain. Mostly my pain.
It dredges up painful memories of the past,
and they're all like mine. So like
not all, but most
of them. So it was I don't remember which one it was.
It was my 21st birthday.
No, but what was the topic randomizer topic? Was it just about music?
Yeah, it was something about like concert
rock
memories.
Out with your cock out. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was like great concert memories.
So it was great concert memories. So Kevin, instead of saying something positive about like how like one time we went to the Rolling Rock Town Fair and enjoyed Filter while his cousin was passed out on the fence
because he ate too many pop brownies.
Ones that maybe I made him. Instead, what he decided to regale us with was the time that on his 21st birthday, when he was being picked up by a limo to go watch 311, I was supposed to go and I couldn't because of my parents, and they thought that I was too sick at the time. I was not feeling well, but I was definitely well enough. And Kevin, told that story about how, all the wonderful things that happened to him, We were hanging out with the band afterwards, high-fiving. You guys were like, this is the best thing ever. 311 Live. I'm like, fuck you both. God damn it.
That's the worst.
My cousins on my mom's side are also huge 311 fans. And
that's
a couple
cool.
years ago, they actually got to meet them backstage. And they said that they were like the most down-to-earth, like, coolest guys. Like
they
were super chill.
Right.
Like everything that they exemplify in their music, they were that in person. He said to a T. They were awesome.
He's like super sweet.
He said Tim Mahoney was like, that's his name.
Tim Mahoney,
right?
Yep.
So he said he was talking to him like they were like pals. And my cousin was like, kind of like, almost like not put off by it, but just like
why are you not
nice
kicking
to
me out of here right now?
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, don't look at me in the eyes.
Yeah, you expect people that are super famous to be dicks. It's just kind of what's fed into you. Like, I'm sure you understand that as a musician.
Yeah. But I think, I was going to say too, because I wasn't a fan prior to working with that festival and meeting him, I kind of went in with this like, it'd be cool to meet somebody and not feel super stressed about it. You know what I mean? Just and then after seeing them live, we got to, hang out, and then I was like, man, I'm blown away. And then I ended up fangirling the whole time.
Yeah. That'll happen.
That's the other side of it.
Yeah.
And somebody who wasn't even like in the band, it was like one of their crew members goes, "How long have you been a fan?" And I felt like a huge dude because I was like, 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
But honestly, man, like it was a testament. They just really blew it away. And I couldn't even enjoy the show because I was just like standing there staring with my mouth open. You know what I mean? Like it was just like,
wow. Yeah.
So good. Yeah. Phenomenal.
It's funny. Like, there are two situations like that I can remember off the top of my head that like, I didn't go into it really knowing the catalog of the musicians, but I like found myself like, wow, after watching them. And that was the first one. And it wasn't like it was Girl Talk, which was more of a DJ, but like the guy, like the way that he's a
Pittsburgh guy.
He's a Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah.
The way he blends music together, he really takes like classic songs and blends them over hip hop. It was so much fucking fun. It was amazing. Cool. And then the other one was recently I went and saw Nathaniel Rateliff in the Night Sweats, and that's the one that son of a bitch, give me a drink, right? So we like that song, right?
So good.
And we bought the tickets well before they were famous because they were supposed to play in Bob and Barbara's on South Street.
Yeah, we played at Bob and Barbara's.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
But they were supposed to play there. And then they released Son of a Bitch, blew up, and then ended up at the Electric Factory.
Yeah.
So we did
not.
No, we had played the Trocadero.
Yeah.
Played the Troc, but I mean, like, that's not the same.
No.
One of the other things we talk about meeting cool musicians, one that worked out well, one that did not. So we ended up hanging out with the Roots. We talked about the Roots in the green room of Sonic Studio because we were recording there. It's funny because as we've recorded 4 albums and as we recorded the albums, we spent less and they sounded better. So Sonic was by far the most expensive record we ever like put out. And it was like the most poorly produced because the guy could not give a shit about us because we were a band that had been together for a few years and literally fucking famous people were rolling through there. It's where Sonic sessions were held.
Yeah. So there was a radio station, a rock radio station called Y100 here in Philadelphia that doesn't exist anymore, but they used to do these things called Sonic sessions where they would have artists come and record a song or two at this world famous Sonic Studios, which doesn't exist anymore either. Nope. But they would, and then they would put the albums out as like a collaboration. They would put all the artists on like volume 1 of Sonic sessions, so on and so forth. So it was really cool. But so we're recording our album there, and Chris, take it away.
Yeah. So
because this is embarrassing as shit for me.
Yes, that's why I brought it up. So the positive thing is that we're hanging out with the Roots in the green room, and they're passing the blunt around. Black Thought passed me a blunt. That's fucking cool.
Dude.
Yeah, dude. I was like, yeah. Like at the time I didn't know. I'm like, thanks, dude. But now I'm like, hey, guess what? But we were walking through the hallway and a proper British man rolled up to us, and it was a famous artist and one that I had recognized, and Kevin recognized too incorrectly. So he's like, oh man, he's like, Peter Gabriel, huge fan. It was Robert Palmer. And he said, and he called Kevin a wanker.
He called me a bloody wanker.
Oh, excuse me, bloody wanker. He called you a bloody wanker.
And he was right.
You were. You fucked it up. Because they don't really, like, if you look at Peter Gabriel, and I'll put 2 pictures up, Peter Gabriel and Robert Palmer, you'll see them and say, these 2 people don't look anything alike. You just were wrong.
It's incredibly embarrassing moment.
It was wonderful. I love it. Yeah. So one other thing too on the podcast. So you guys, how long have you been doing it?
A little over 2 years. Our 2-year anniversary was November of
That's awesome.
2020. Yeah.
That's great.
Sweet.
That's great. And you guys, where do you guys like put your shit? So I'm obviously like on iTunes.
Spotify, we want to promote you. So throw it out there. You said you had a Patreon too. So please plug
Patreon,
it.
Yes.
Plug away.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah. We're available anywhere where there's podcasts, Apple, Spotify. Our Patreon is patreon.com/FMOFM podcast, as well as the rest of our socials, FMOFM podcast. So
why'd you come up? What's because you are Florida Men.
Yep.
And so on Florida Man, which again, like I said earlier, sounds very hot and sexual for the gay community in Miami. Yeah. But why that?
We're here for it. There was another show at the time, a few other shows actually. Were kind of they're not around anymore, but they were kind of in the same lane. And so, like if kind of like on PBS, there used to be some of these old shows that would be like, Chad Johnson on tragedy in Iraq.
I got you. Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so the premise was we were all born and raised in Florida, so we're Florida Men on Florida Man. And that was kind of the idea. Yeah. And then we had it just shortened it to FMOFM, and it was odd how it took off, but we're grateful for it. For sure.
It's great. It's fun, right? Like you're getting together with your buddies and being able to talk about shit. And
we still don't know what we're doing. I mean, literally we just get together and hang out, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to do it now for a little bit. And so we'll keep making it as people keep listening, but it's in a way though, it's turned in I think we have grown in appreciation for our state doing the show.
Sure.
We learned
more about it.
Yeah. We're learning more about the state and the history. And it's weird having like teachers reach out to us to use like historical portions on our show. And
interesting.
I feel really like just oddly intimidated by that, where I'm like, nah, don't listen to me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
go somewhere else with that. But in a way, at the same time, it's humbling, to be able to teach people about our state and stuff. So
that's very cool. Yeah. Teachers will not be contacting us. The school board is not a fan of
not my
family.
Not my wife.
Had a little falling out recently. If you listen to our last podcast, Chris explains things. If you want to take a listen.
Yeah, things may have happened that, actually, interestingly, so the post script of that was that we were today supposed to go to tour a Catholic school because my wife was that upset about what had happened. It was a COVID related thing that wasn't really COVID, but she had signed my daughter out with basically, like why and bullshit was on that form. It's in public record of my 9-year-old daughter, Sam, is now bullshit is why my wife signed her out of school. Not stomach ache, not nothing. Nope. Not sickness. What I tell you, I talked to the nurse too, because after I said, hey, because they had basically said that they thought they were concerned that my daughter had COVID because she had a stomach ache, and that's it's a symptom. Awesome.
Sure,
not like a common one, but something. And so they're like, let's not take any chances here. Go get a COVID test. We were like, she does not fucking have COVID. She just eats like a fucking goat, like everything. She had a salad smoothie and chocolate and all kinds of weird things that just everything met in the stomach. And it was not a party that anyone was having fun. So she was not feeling so hot. And so my wife I got a call as she was walking out to go to the store to go do to get out of the house which I think these are compounding factors. Sometimes you're in quarantine, you're home, we got hybrid school happening. So there's half regular school, half like them here annoying us constantly. And this was one of the days where, and it's been a little bit because we had snow up here. And snow, just for a Florida guy, is this white stuff that falls from the sky and lays down and ruins people's lives and driveways and sunrooms.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. I got you.
Plenty of that in Florida.
Oh God! You think you know how easy I would be to clean it up? That was in my front yard. So, but in any event, the kids have been home a lot more than they should have been. More in hybrid school, but. So she was in regular. It was finally a day where she was at actual school. She was back. It was back in school, and they were like, "No, you got to send her home." And before you could send her back, she's got to get a COVID test or a doctor's note saying she doesn't have COVID. And my wife fucking lost it. Yeah. And so literally I talked to the nurse after I talked to we did a teledoc thing, and the doctor's like, she doesn't have fucking COVID. She's fine. And then she wrote us a note, and I said, hey, I called the nurse because my wife wasn't going to do it. And I was like, everything's cool. She's like, I just wanted to let you know, I'm very sorry that I had to, just the protocols of Perkium say I have to say if there's any kind of symptoms whatsoever, I have to you have to get a note. I didn't realize she was going to react that way. I'm like, I don't want to even talk about this anymore.
I'm over
just telling you that she's fine.
Long story short, teachers will not be contacting us.
No.
So
besides the content of this podcast,
our previous podcast talked about if you'd rather have dicks for fingers or one dick arm.
That's a good question for Wayne.
Thank you. Would you rather have
comment
dicks for fingers or one
all fingers, functioning dicks? We established that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a giant functioning dick arm.
I'm gonna go with the arm. I think just one. It's that I probably just wear hoodies.
Yeah.
Never tell anybody.
One mitten.
Yes, a singular mitten. Why does one mitten look like a mitten? The other one looks like it's a mushroom. Come over to my house later and find out. I'll show you.
The thing about it is in Florida I could have the arm and then wear a sleeveless shirt and nobody would bat an eye. I really don't think anybody would say anything about it.
Yeah, no, you'd be like Skunk Ape. Oh, there goes Dick Arm.
Dude,
the new Florida legend, Dick Arm.
We have one in Ybor City called the Shoe Licker.
What?
And this is a modern one, man. Like it's not even. We were as surprised as you were. It's a guy that will lick your shoes.
On request, is he just saying, hey, would you like me to lick your shoes? Or is he like, does
he have an OnlyFans? I mean,
you're in a restaurant, you're like, my foot feels weird. What's going on? Hey, mister, what are you doing down there?
Sometimes he'll sneak around the corner, and try to do it like a predator, slowly and then run away.
Is he invisible like a predator?
No,
he's a predator. A predator.
Yeah, no, it's a real dude, and we kind of the terrifying part about it, I think more so than what he does, is whenever we were researching it, like businesses in Ybor were like, yeah, we know that guy. Like so
you
like
know him like
just casual, and I was just like, so he does this, and they're like, oh yeah, mainly on the weekends.
Yeah, that's just Lance. Don't worry about him. He's just going to lick your shoes.
So you're not concerned? And one of the breweries actually in Tampa had a shoe licker beer named after him.
Sweet.
That is, dude.
I don't think I want to drink that though.
No, I don't. Whatever Ybor City or whatever you called it. Like,
yeah, Ybor.
I don't want to go there. I'm not going there. I don't want my shoes licked. No, thank you. I like having clean shoes, but come on, man.
Yeah,
you're gonna fuck somebody's sneakers up. Like some people get serious about their sneakers. How your sneaker game is, but if you like lick my sneaker, I'm gonna fucking. It's gonna be a problem. We're gonna have fights.
Well, I think it started off as like a weird thing, but then it became almost like a I am legend. People wanted to be a part of it. It's like a Facebook group dedicated to it, and people who are posting pictures of like, I got my shoe licked tonight, and
that is fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. We just had a guy that was a creepy guy that was on Howard Stern. Mm-hmm. As his name was Mark the Bagger.
Oh yeah,
he's from our town.
Yeah.
He's a creepy as part of like the Whack Pack on the Howard Stern show.
Yes.
Yeah. And you see him around town every once. They called him Mark from the Park because he would like sit in like parks and pleasure himself or something like that. Yeah. So this is like. I mean,
yeah, we all have our people, I guess. I mean, but we're not socially accepting of some dude jacking in the park. You guys are making beers, like figure out. You have a brewmaster that's figuring out. Do I want to make this a 60 or a 90-minute IPA? I don't know. What should this
honor this man?
Oh fuck!
Shit. It was lovely having you on, and
thank you so much.
Man. And by the way, before we leave, because I got to ask, you're married, man?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
14 years.
So. And I knew that because she stuck you in the basement with all the fucking your Christmas decorations and like that's I looked down there. That's where I started. When we were in the podcast, I had built a small section of my basement where I was relegated to until I decided to play the game of Risk and take over this room up here. But
dude, it's so interesting. Our studio is across town, and we're having a kind of an event there tonight.
Okay.
And so I'm in the basement as a reject tonight.
Oh man,
for this spot. So this is it gets spooky after dark.
Oh, does he? Oh, I'm sure. What's your event? What's going on? I mean, we can't promote it, but unfortunately, since it's happening today.
No, it's okay. We have a writers event that we do. It's pretty much like the third Friday or second Friday. I forget they do it, but bringing creatives from around the state to kind of write and kind of give them a chance to get on some label projects.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool, man.
It's really cool,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah. So,
all right. Well, Wayne, it was awesome having you on the show.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
And it was a blast.
Dude, we really had a good time. Anytime you guys want to come back on or vice versa, just fucking reach out. We had a great time today. And thank you so much.
Goodbye. And good night. Bang!